Good Monday morning to you. I hope you're gathering with church family yesterday. Delightful. We had a chance to gather yesterday morning, worship at the high school, gathered yesterday evening, last small group, Sunday evening till spring. Appreciate Bob leading that in order. Good to gather with them. And as we're reading through this second letter that we have of the Apostle Paul to the Corinthian Christians, it's been so easy to read what he wrote to them, see how it's still so perfectly today. And here, by the coming of Titus, I look at that, and I see here's an apostle of Christ himself who was thwarted and frustrated. It says at every turn we were harassed, had conflicts on the outside and fears within. And I thought, that's not the image that I usually have. Think of I think those guys were impenetrable, invulnerable. They were just like superheroes. And then I read this and I think, oh, he was just like me. He's just like you. And I take a lot of comfort in seeing that Paul was open and transparent, saying, look, we had all kinds of problems outside. We had all kinds of problems on the inside. And yet, look what God has done through them. And if God can do those kinds of things, if Christ can work through a man who's got all kinds of conflicts on the outside and fears on the inside, he's downcast, discouraged. What God did through him. So when you are dealing with conflicts on the outside and fears on the inside, when you're downcast, and that literally means faces down, we can lift up our heads as we're reminded of what Christ has done. As somebody like Titus comes into our life to encourage and strengthen us, to bring our face. Excuse me. My face was downcast for just a moment as I had to sneeze. And we have these interruptions in our life, our schedule, in our plan. Paul said, when we came into Macedonia, we had all these troubles. And you can look back on your life and you can look back and see when you had troubles. You might be in the midst of conflicts right now. You might have harassment outside, family, business, neighborhood, Facebook and social media thrive, it seems, on harassment. So be careful when you're dealing with social media that you are an encourager and not a harasser. But don't be surprised if there are conflicts outside, harassments, and fears inside. Then be an encourager. You be a Titus for someone else, and you allow someone else to be a Titus too, to be comforting and comforted, to be an encourager, encouraged, and be encouraged. These are not hated or difficult. When you see someone being harassed, being surrounded by conflict, and downcast, be an encourager, be a comforter. Titus came and encouraged and comforted the Apostle Paul. His presence, and certainly by the news that he brought, you can be an encourager, a comforter, somebody else. And there are days when you need to allow somebody else, your encourager. Lift up your heads, lift up your face. The King is coming. Bless you. I want to remind you of the meeting coming Wednesday evening, day after tomorrow, at the Fremont Middle School, 6 o'clock. Lake area, we're going to gather around in 8 to 10 different round tables with people from the community, and we're going to just gain new ideas. That's our goal, to communicate a concept that is on your heart. And then we're going to take all these ideas and we're going to discover a pattern. Excited about it. God is busy in the church, and I think he's busy in the town. So looking forward to that. In the meantime, be reminded, God loves you, and we love you too.